talking about?
There's a lot of aphids, different types of, there was a lot of issues with caterpillars this spring, depending on where you are in Alberta. We didn't see too many in Calgary, but I definitely heard different stories from around the province. And then just the regular common things that we see, like there's some issues with scale that we've been seeing on hedges and on elm trees, and the regular spruce pests like sawfly and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And I know that some parts of Alberta have been experiencing strong winds with this wet weather, and that's probably taking its toll on some branches. Are you hearing that from some of your customers as well?
Definitely. We haven't seen locally a ton of damage this year. Having said that, driving around today, definitely saw some down limbs from the high winds the past, this morning and yesterday, I suppose.
Let's get to our listeners. You can ask a question of Matt Davis of Adair Tree Care about your tree and how to make it feel better. 1-866-468-4422. You can send us an email to alberta@noon@cbc.ca or tweet to alberta@noon. And Matt, we got this email from Monique, who sent this even before you arrived, and she says that she has 2 Mayday trees on the north side of her house, and they live south of Peace River. They bought the property about 3 years ago, and they think the trees are about 20 years old or more, and one of the tree has ants living in the trunk. A few branches are dead, but others are healthy, and she says both trees have lots of blooms in the spring, and she's wondering, should we prune them or remove the tree completely?
I'd say if there's less than, say, 25% of the tree is kind of dead, then just removing those dead portions would probably suffice, and then you can get a good idea of how the tree progresses from that point. I wouldn't say it's like too far gone at this point that it would have to be removed. The ants are probably not causing issues, but they might be a sign of another insect in the tree that they're kind of going after. Sometimes if there's decay in the stem, they can kind of go after that decayed wood, but generally I'd say if you had an arborist come out and take a look, they'd probably recommend pruning.
Okay, so the trees possibly can survive if there's not too much damage. Thanks very much for that question, Monique. We appreciate it. And Peace River is one of the beautiful parts of the province that's experiencing sunshine today. And Irene is on the line in Edmonton. Hello, Irene.
I'd like to ask a question. I have a Goodland apple tree that's very healthy. We've had more than enough apples every year, and I would say the tree is probably at least 22 years old. We haven't had it pruned now for about, probably 5 years. And this year, it's so unusual. I noticed only a handful of blossoms on the tree, and I see no fruit. And I can't believe it, because we usually give apples away to all the community, and big apples. And I don't understand why there is no fruit.
Sometimes, I guess if the tree is healthy, I wouldn't be overly concerned. Sometimes in the spring, if those blossoms are just about to open up and we get